This video is sponsored by Mark 7 Car Wash Equipment, providing clean, dry, shiny cars for over 50 years. Visit mark7.net for more information.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Unscripted, the video series that connects you with market leaders. Today on our Unscripted video, we're happy to welcome Tom Hoffman Jr., co-owner of Hoffman's Car Wash. Hello, Tom. It's great to see you again. And
good to see you too.
And thanks for joining us here today. Appreciate it. So today's topic, Tom, is on something that's been in the news quite a bit here these last couple of months, and that is the minimum wage. And specifically for this interview here, it's the minimum wage's impact on car care businesses. So, Tom, I'm curious, how does your car wash balance offering a competitive wage with attracting and retaining the best possible talent while still remaining profitable?
Well, being in the capital of New York State, there's always been really a labor shortage, I think, because the economy in Albany is protected by all the state government around. So we've actually never been able to pay as little as minimum wage. In I think our history, we've always been a little ahead of it. But whenever, minimum wage rises, we have to increase everybody's wage. So it's not just the minimum wage, it affects the entire workforce. And New York State has been one of the more progressive states relating to minimum wage. And we're on a cycle right now on our way to $15 an hour. New York City has been at $15 an hour for a few years. And I can remember the moment listening to the radio and hearing Governor Cuomo state that we're going to $15 an hour immediately. And that really put us in an automation mode. We started developing our own robots and trying to figure out a way of automating the process to help, manage the price we have to pay our customers, because, companies really don't pay wages, our customers do. So there's been pressure for years, and we've been on an automation tear.
Yeah, that kind of foreshadows one of my upcoming questions for sure. But first, Tom, I'm curious, what percentage of your car wash expenses today account for wages, roughly? And how does that compare to, let's say, a decade ago?
Yeah, well, we operate all different kinds of car washes. So we have self-serve, in-bay automatics, express tunnels, and full serve. So the full service operations in our company, it's close to 40, even approaching 50% of our wages, or of our expenses rather, are labor. So again, when Governor Cuomo did that, we started really promoting more express washing, and that's really what's happened. And even with COVID, people were apprehensive to get the inside of their car wash. So we're doing more express washing now than we ever have. So the full serve industry, especially in New York, where they're scaring everybody to death about COVID, the full serve business here has not really come back to, prior COVID levels. So, the express exteriors have a lower labor, cost of our expenses. So, we even started an equipment company where we're building our own, equipment now at Innovative Car Wash equipment, and we're eliminating prepping to reduce labor. Again, back to the automation, we just found that we had to reduce, the cost of labor, because the wages are rising with a great economy faster than we can, put it on our customers, to pay for the increased labor expense. It's been tough. And paid holidays, and we're offering more benefits to our employees. So there's a lot of pressure on car washes to automate and manage labor and reduce labor where at all possible.
For sure, yeah. And you mentioned earlier, a lot of the times those costs get pushed on to the customer, unfortunately. So how often do you increase prices, and are these price increases alone enough to keep up with the wage increases?
Yeah, we do try to do that. Again, I always say that our customers are really paying for everything we do. In New York State especially, it's annual wage increases. So the minimum wage has been rising every year on December 31st. And so we haven't actually raised our unlimited in the last couple of years because we're trying to promote that. But our entry level, our base pricing for our wash packages has increased as frequently as about once a year. We typically don't raise more than once a year, though.
Okay. So as you mentioned, already automation and manufacturing your own equipment. As you might recall, Tom, in 2017, I was preparing an article for Professional Car Washing and Detailing magazine about the use of robotics and increased automation in our industry. At that time, you mentioned that your chain had shifted towards using more automation and even manufacturing your own equipment, partly in response to keep up with the state's minimum wage levels. So I'm curious, what has been the ROI on that investment? Are you using, in fact, more automation today? If so, where? And if not, why not?
Well, yeah. So at every one of our locations, we try to figure out and put it on the schedule where can we reduce the prepping of the cars? Because again, in the Northeast especially, we have a lot of sand and salt on the road, so our cars are coming in filthy dirty, and we have to blast or prep the sand and salt off the car before sending it through the friction wash. So adding the high pressure systems with recycled water and blasting all that off before it hits the brushes has been what we've been looking to do. And we're a UL panel shop too, so we build motor control centers. We write our own software for all these new systems. Our wraparound brushes now are actually feeling the car and detecting impact, and we're doing front assist. So we're moving around the vehicle now in a more automated way than ever, using proportional air regulators with analog controls. And as fancy as that might sound, it actually has simplified the operation because it's one valve and the software just takes care of it. We're feeling the car like 200 times a second. We're monitoring the amperage. We've switched from hydraulics to electric controls, so we're improving all the controls in the car wash process and advancing with more and more robotics, and actually producing cleaner, safer cars and at high production too.
Sounds great. So is Hoffman Car Wash doing anything else to prepare for the potential $15 federal minimum wage? I know you mentioned in New York seems inevitable, but what do you recommend to other operators outside of New York to prepare now before it's too late?
Yeah, well, it's 100 things, but you have to treat your people really well. You have to provide good benefits. You have to become attractive, to the public, really. There's referral systems, there's social media, there are so many things about it. I can't say there's one silver bullet answer. It's just doing a lot of things as best you can, and working hard at it every day. It's curb appeal, it's flowers. My dad famously has been the landscape guy, and making your places look attractive, even cleaning your employee bathrooms and having facilities that are well kept. Car wash operators really need to invest in their locations and keep them up to date and be prepared, for prosperity, basically. You have to keep reinvesting in your facilities to attract good people and have happy employees.
All right, sounds great. Well, we're turning into spring weather here up in the Northeast. So I'm sure your dad will be out there with the green thumb and fixing everything up, it sounds like. So
Exactly.
thank you so much, Tom, for spending a few minutes here with me to do this interview for carwash.com. You've always been a great resource for us. And like I said, it was great to see you
Thanks,
again.
Rich. Good seeing you too.